What's up, Nick fans? All right, I am Victor Hatiba from Nick Fans Brazil channel. Today, Dexter Henry again in Nick Fans Brazil. Thank you so much, my bro.
Hey, Victor, I'm glad to be back with you. I think it was almost a year ago I came on here, and you now are doing live shows. I'm part of your first live show. I watch what you guys are doing all the time. I love Knicks fan Brazil. I love what you're doing. Shout out to all the Knicks fans in Brazil showing love. I see you. And shout out to Victor because Victor is doing great work bringing you guys content. So, Victor, keep it up, man. I'm proud of you. I love the work, man. I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you so much. I love your job too. Né? I
Thank you, bro.
appreciate né, your words for me. So, my bro, let's talk. Let's talk né, about the Knicks.
Yep.
Um, I want your opinion, Dexter, about the Knicks né, in this off season. What's your opinion né, about the Knicks in this off season?
So I like what the Knicks have done this offseason. I know some Knicks fans wanted a star. They wanted a star player, but I think the Knicks are taking the right approach here. I think they are being patient. They're not just trying to sign anybody and just have anybody there. They're looking at who's the right star. The Knicks already have one star. That's Jalen Brunson. He's proven that. We saw how he played last year. We saw what he did in the playoffs, which was amazing. And I think they're being very patient. They're not rushing the deal. I know some people wanted Carl Anthony Towns. They wanted Zach LaVine. You saw Fred Katz's report today in which he talked about, they're out of that. Ian Begley has also reported that as well too, and that the Joel Embiid rumors are way far. The Sixers are not interested. Now, I will say I do think Joel Embiid would be a good fit on the Knicks next to Brunson. But what the Knicks did this offseason, sometimes I think fans have to understand that continuity is good. This will be year number 4 under the head coach, Tom Thibodeau. This is a team that has made the playoffs 2 out of the last 3 years. They're growing. They won a playoff series when not many people expected them to. They had a shot against the Miami Heat. This is a growing team, growing culture. They added another good player in Dante DiVincenzo, which is a move I like. They still have a lot of flexibility. Nobody on the Knicks has a bad contract. They have a lot of flexibility, a lot of draft picks. So the Knicks you're looking at them and you're saying they're ready to make a move when the next disgruntled star comes about, but it's going to be the right person. The Knicks are doing it on their time. Knicks fans have seen for a long time the organization not be patient, pay over the hill players. They're not doing that. They're building the right way here. And I think the Knicks had a fine offseason. Continuity matters for me. Somebody who covers sports, I think it's underrated. We don't give it enough credit. And when you have what the Knicks have built, like I said, they've been to the playoffs 2 out of the last 3 years. The head coach is the same. Players have developed in their system. It's good. I think now what the Knicks hope for is, can you see guys like Quentin Grimes, RJ Barrett?
Yes.
Can those guys take another leap in their game? And if they do, the Knicks are cooking, and that's only going to give them more tradable assets. So I still, I still think I still wouldn't be surprised if there's another move to come from the Knicks. I don't think it'll come before this season, but maybe at the trade deadline. I think they're a team that if they're contending in the right spot, they could be active at the trade deadline. So we'll see.
Any special about Dante DiVincenzo? What's your expectations with this guy in Knicks now playing with Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart? What's your expectations?
Look, I love it. It was the guy I thought the Knicks could get. I think he's a guy you can expect. He's going to come off the bench. He's going to play hard. If he needed to start the 2 guard spot, you could do it. He gives good effort on the defensive end. He's a solid defender, not like a super plus defender, but he's a solid defender. But the 3-point shooting for him has been real. I think it also matters that he's been a part of winning cultures in Milwaukee and Golden State. You heard Steve Kerr rave about him, Stephen Curry rave about him. This is a guy I think is going to fit right into the culture of what they're doing. And listen, when you sign a player like a Dante DiVincenzo, I know he's not a big, sexy name, Victor,
Mhm.
but it matters because he wants to come and play with his former college teammates and Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. And those guys play tough and hard, and they're about winning. And look, the more you can add quality players to a roster, the better I think it is. And it doesn't always have to be a splashy name. And just bit by bit, the Knicks are adding quality players to the roster and guys that fit the way they want to play. And they're building the Knicks culture looks strong. We'll see how they build off of last year, but I think the Knicks can be, I'm sure we'll get into this. I think the Knicks can be better than what we saw from them last year. They won 47 games last year. It
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't shock me if they were, I don't think a crazy improvement. It wouldn't shock me if they were a 50-win team. Wouldn't shock me.
And I saw in internet, for example, Steve Kerr, Steph Curry talk so many good things
Mm-hmm.
about Dante DiVincenzo. It's a
Yeah.
good reason for me too.
Yeah.
Né?
Yeah.
I
No,
saw
I,
the
I, I think that you should be excited when you hear good things coming from another basketball program in the Warriors who've been so elite the last 7, 8 years. When you hear good things about a guy like Dante, I think they know that, if they could have paid him the mid level, they would have, but they couldn't. And the Knicks, I think that's a great signing for the Knicks. I really do. I think the Knicks did what they had to do. They needed to add some shooting, because I think now you'll see lineups where, it hurt the Knicks in the playoffs last year where they had to play lineups with Josh Hart, who can be a little reluctant to shoot. But Dante DiVincenzo is going to let it fly. He's a career 37% shooter. He shot basically 40% from downtown last year. So the Knicks needed somebody to help them with the shooting and some offense off the bench. I'm just curious about, Victor, how the minutes are all going to work out, because you got Quickly, you've got
yes.
him off the bench. How does Tibbs find the minutes? But hey, that's what he gets paid the big bucks to do. So we'll see.
But in your opinion, has a chance DiVincenzo make a starter in this team, or don't have a chance just from the bench?
I would be shocked if he's starting. Um, I think Grimes has the starting two guard position locked down because Tibbs loves his defense and how he plays.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Yes.
but but I would not be surprised if there were games throughout the season where you saw DiVincenzo close. We've seen this with Quickly before. Quickly, who doesn't start, 6-man of the year candidate, should have won 6-man last year. But we've seen him close games. I think you'll see the same with DiVincenzo. It wouldn't surprise me if the Knicks play a lot of three-guard lineups to close games. I think you can
Mm-hmm.
see that. I think that it makes him a little bit more versatile. I don't think he starts, because I think the team, from all I
No,
hear, they love Grimes, and Grimes'
me
defense
too.
has been phenomenal. So I think he's going to go with the better defender in the starting lineup. But I think he's a 25-minute guy off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's minutes are going to get cut. Quickly's minutes probably go down a little bit this year. But I think he's a guy that definitely is ready to come in and contribute from day one.
Last year, Dexter, do you remember when I talked with you about RJ Barrett? You
Mm-hmm.
know, I like this guy, but in the last season, nah, you know,
I know. I
you know.
know. RJ
What's your
RJ Barrett.
opinion about
Well,
RJ Barrett?
yeah, so here's my thing, Victor. I I was down on RJ Barrett and what we saw from him during the regular season. However, what I did like from him is he played really good in the playoffs. 7 out of the
Yes.
11 playoff games, he was really strong. And I know some fans might say that doesn't mean anything, but to me, it means something. When you perform on the biggest stage, when there's the most pressure, and we can't forget the first two playoff games against Cleveland, he was terrible, 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 terrible. But he bounced back and he showed me something. Now, I think what Knicks fans like yourself are looking for this season is, how does that translate to this coming season? Can he build upon that? I have a good feeling about RJ this season. I think how he
Me too.
performed in the playoffs is going to give him some confidence. Um, Everything I hear from people around the Knicks and people I know who cover the team says, hey, he's a hardworking kid. He's always in the gym. And the Knicks have really bought into that and they like him. And I think RJ could be a guy. It wouldn't shock me this year if he really makes a leap, because I think how he played in the playoffs did a lot for him. And I also, when they lost, he was upset about it. He cared. You could see that. He really cared and he really wants to play and I think win here. So I'm if it's really now or never also for RJ Barrett. I'm gonna be honest. This is where I think fans are gonna be looking at him. His rookie extension's kicking in. People are looking at what he can do, but I was encouraged by what I saw from him in the playoffs. I hope that he's able to take that to another level. I have a good feeling about it. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I know we saw a large sample size in the regular season, but I was impressed with how he bounced back in the playoffs, particularly after how poor the first two games were. I think something is clicked for RJ Barrett, and I hope he adds some things to his game coming this year that could make him a much better player, which is what the Knicks need. The Knicks need him to emerge too. To me, this year is a lot about Barrett and also Quentin Grimes, how those guys develop. It's really a lot about that.
And man, I totally understand na, in my country, for example, so many friends so angry. For example, my bro Manu so angry, so angry
RJ
with
has
RJ
very
Barrett.
bad energy. Wow. Like, yeah, you know what? I I don't know, man. Like, I think his energy is positive. You have to like how he really played and bounce back. But you know what? Some Knicks fans, I talked to some Knicks fans, and some Knicks fans, they just don't like RJ. Um, they think he's not a good fit. I see Manal Zen says, I'm sure he gave all he had. There's nothing more. I mean, I think it matters when you get it done in the playoffs and the stakes are the highest and the pressure is the highest. That man bounced back from two terrible games. The fans at MSG were ready to pounce on him in game 3 and 4, and he played very well, especially game 3. He came out and really set the tone in that game. So let's see. I'm not gonna, I think he'll have a good year, but I also understand why Knicks fans are skeptical too. I understand why, your countryman is skeptical as well too. I get it.
Bro, I am suspect, né? Because
You suspect, okay?
Manu, my bro, né? My friend. No, I super believe in this guy, but I am sad, né? With the regular season, né? RJ Barrett in regular season, but I still believe this guy in the season, bro. Do you remember in
Mm-hmm.
the last interview last year? Uh, Me and you talking about Julius Randle
Yep.
in the season. Julius Randle in regular season on fire. In,
On fire.
uh, team on NBA, All Star, né?
Mm-hmm.
Again, bro. Nah, I know RJ Barrett, nah. It's the bad regular season, but I totally understand. We don't know in backstage these
Mm-hmm.
teams what happened. I won't talk with you later about with you. Obi Fournier,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
We'll
but
talk. We'll
we
talk.
talk we talk first of all about RJ. So I think this guy in the next season has a chance, né, to prove Manu and so many people. RJ has a chance, né, to be a better player, né, in New York Knicks. Bro, in Canada, with
Mm-hmm.
your country
Mm-hmm.
in World Cup, bro, play
Yep.
so well, nah, in this
Well.
championship.
Let me say this, Victor.
Oh,
United States isn't necessarily great with the soccer, so that didn't shock me with Canada beating them. That didn't shock me at all. I I I understand Manul's hesitation and you bring up a good point, right? That um, we saw with Julius Randle, fantastic regular season, not so good in the playoffs, right? We saw that, and I'd rather have the player play good in the playoffs when it counts. I'd rather that. Um, but RJ has a chance to prove Manul wrong. I understand where Manul is coming from. I understand his doubt. I do understand, and I appreciate him sharing. But I also think that you know it is now or never for him. If he doesn't get it done this year, okay, the Knicks
Mhm.
fans are they're gonna be coming for him. They're gonna be ready to pounce. So it's now or never. I have a feel. I don't know why. I could be wrong. I'll come back if I'm wrong, but I think he's gonna build off of the playoffs. I just have a vibe, just a vibe. I hope so. I think even Manul hopes so. I know Manul hopes so. I know he does. I know he does.
uh, and Julius Randle, bro. Last year, né? We talk about this guy in a
Mm-hmm.
regular season. I mentioned before on fire, né? In the last regular season, but in playoffs, again, né? Nick fans so angry with this guy. But in your opinion, the injury from
Mm.
Julius Randle has a chance né, to the play bad with Miami Heat for you, for example, or don't?
Yeah, it's funny because when you think back at the end of the last season and before Julius missed the last 5 games, he was playing really good, like really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing some good basketball. I do think the injury affected him.
Mm-hmm.
I was less concerned watching the Knicks about him not making shots, and I do think he was bothered by the ankle. But I do think that what bothered me watching him was the lack of effort on defense. It was the
Mm-hmm.
defense that bothered me. He wasn't moving. I think it was game 3 and games 4 of the Miami series. He did not look well. That bothered me more than the offense. I do think that the talk around Randall and how bad his shooting has been in the postseason, you're going to start to worry about it because for him, it's now or never too. You've had a couple of postseasons where it hasn't been good. You're 28 years old. It's not
Yes.
like you're not a younger player like RJ. So it's now or never for him in terms of that. I want to give him some grace because I do think he was hampered by the injuries, but at the same time, the effort on defense was just terrible. And if you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
give that kind of, if you're going to give that kind of effort on defense in the playoffs and you're hurt, then don't. I respect you for gutting it out and being hurt, but then don't hurt the team by being out there and you can't move. There are plays he just let defenders go past him, or he wasn't even trying to make a play on the ball, and so that bothered me more because I don't offensively. I don't think he played bad. I don't think the ball stuck. He didn't hit shots, and that happens. But I thought he moved the ball well. He let Brunson cook when Brunson needed to cook. But defensively, I was just like, and rebounding wise, he was not good. So you wonder about that. And I respect Julius for probably trying to gut it out. But we saw Jalen Brunson, who was also injured. We saw what kind of performance he had. And that shows you all you need to know about Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson is a gamer, he's clutch. I'm not saying that Julius Randle can't be that. He can, but I understand why the Knicks fans disappointed in him coming off the playoffs last year.
I am disappointed with Julius Randle when this guy talks about the Knicks né, versus Miami and Julius Randle. Uh, this guy wants more
Mm-hmm.
than bro. Bro, so sad about this guy talk about this. I don't like it, bro. More than play worst compared with regular season. Oh, it's a
Yeah, he
it's a
look.
bad thing, bro.
No, it is. I mean, look, it's Julius. Julius Randle is going to be judged about how he plays in the postseason. The Knicks should be. I think the Knicks will be a playoff team. It's about what he does. We know what Jalen Brunson can do in the postseason. We saw him do it with
No,
Dallas. We've now seen him as a lead guard on the Knicks. He's a star. Last year was
yes.
Jalen Brunson letting everybody know if you didn't think I could do it by myself, if you thought it was just Luka Doncic, no, this is it. And on a bad ankle, we saw the performance he had in Game 5,
Mm-hmm.
tremendous performance. Even in Game 6, outside
Yes.
of that turnover he had late, he was fantastic. So Randall, he's got to know it. It's kind of like it's the opposite of Barrett. Barrett, people want to see the consistency through the regular season and then into the playoffs. With Randall, people want to see it in the playoffs because we've seen him be great in the regular season. Twice, as you mentioned, second team All NBA, two-time All-Star, twice in the last 3 years. Fantastic. And I don't kill Randall the way other people do. Randall's a fine player. He's probably better off as the third option on your team than the second option, but he's a very good player, and I think he can help you
Yes.
win. If the Knicks
Yes.
had another guy that was even better than Brunson or brought Brunson down or in between the both of them, they'd be a really good team. But Randall's fine. I think Randall's he's got to hit shots in the playoffs. He's got to be healthy. And we'll see if the Knicks make it to the playoffs next year. We'll see what he's able to do because all eyes will be on him. All eyes will be on him.
I talked with you before about Julius Randle. The problem,
Mm-hmm.
this Julius Randle is here, bro.
Yeah.
When this guy, it's good in your mind, nah? Bro. This player, on fire, but Julius Randle don't good, nah?
Mm-hmm.
In your mind, bro. Play so bad, bro. Play so bad, and your attitudes, nah. This guy, it's complicated, but when this guy, nah, it's good in your mind,
Yep.
nah. Your that's okay, bro. But you mentioned Jalen Brunson, bro. Jalen Brunson, bro. I am I am love with this guy. I am love. In your opinion, Dexter, this guy now it's a franchise player or not yet? In your opinion,
Oh, no. Jalen Brunson is the face of the franchise. He is the franchise player. He is the Knicks star right now. I Something about Brunson I really like is that when I watch him, I never feel like he's out of control. I feel like the team is under control with him. I think he truly is a good leader. And that's fine. Everybody can't be a leader, but Jalen Brunson to me is a
yes.
leader. He leads by example, how he prepares, his toughness. There's something I like about him, and I think it's really endearing to Knicks fans. He's got a warrior-like mentality, but he's just very mentally sharp. And I think we've seen it. Doesn't matter if he's hobbled. I trust him. I trust what I saw from him in the playoffs, and I've watched it with Dallas. This guy, there's big time players, and he's a big time player, shot maker, confident, is going to raise the level of everybody. The Knicks got themselves a star. This is
Mm-hmm.
their first true, I think, legitimate star since Melo. I know Randall's made the All Star teams and has played like a star in the regular season, but when this is the difference I'm talking about. When you see what Jalen Brunson could do in the postseason, the big shots, the shot making, the creation. And I think his game will only help as he plays with other guys around him that are better, that can help shoot the three better. Um, yeah, Jalen Brunson, man, he he's elevated everybody's game on the team, and I love to see it. He's one of the best point guards in the league right now. He's hands down.
Mm-hmm. I am so sad with this guy, né? Don't All Star, don't All Team NBA, bro.
Yeah,
Whoa,
yeah. He
NBA 2K, bro. NBA 2K. I disagree with
yeah. I
Jalen
I thought
Brunson.
I thought he had a shot. He had a shot for a third team. I knew it was going to be tough with the guards because so many good guards in the league. It was tough. He probably should have been an all star. He was the Knicks MVP last year. There's no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Randall made the All Star. Randall made second team All NBA, all of which I think Randall deserved. But the team MVP was Jalen Brunson. Anybody around the team would tell you that. He's the best player on the team. I think he proved that in the playoffs. And I'll be intrigued to see how he takes his game up another notch this year. He's another guy. I trust him. I trust what he could do with the leadership, how he's going to elevate the other players. I think it's going to be fun to watch him in year 2 in New York. And look, I don't want to look too down far the road for Knicks fans, but the Knicks are going to have to pay him again. And Jalen Brunson, the next contract If you thought he got overpaid on this contract, which he did not, if you thought that, he's going to get paid on the next one. And so the Knicks just have to find him that other good co-star to pair with him. That's it. Listen, it's hard to get one star. It's hard to win in the NBA. It's very hard to win. But the Knicks have themselves a star. They have lots of young talent. They have tradable contracts. They have assets. They're in a good spot. Jalen Brunson is huge to that because they didn't have to trade for him. They were able to sign him as a free agent, and that's one of the best right now, at least for one season. It's one of the best free agent signings in Knicks history.
Yes, yes. I remember Jim from Dallas, so angry with us, so angry with the Knicks. Oh, Mark Cuban, bye
Yep,
bye.
yep. Well, hey, Dallas should have paid him, and they did not.
Yes,
And the
yes,
Knicks got him here, and the rest is history.
yes, yes. You mentioned payment, né? What do you think about Emmanuel Kickley, né?
Mm.
Payment, né? Because this guy almost, né? 60 man, né? In the last season. What do you think about Emmanuel Kickley?
I quickly quickly is my daughter's favorite player. She loves IQ, and I think that Emmanuel Quickly is a very good player. I think he's a winning player. I think he's the kind of guy you want off your bench. I'd be very shocked if the Knicks don't extend him. I think it comes down to what the price is. A lot of people say anywhere between 16 to $20 million. Um, I don't think it'll. I think if it happens, it's going to be closer to training camp. I think the Knicks want to make sure to get him on a number that where they still have flexibility if they could trade him because a lot of teams would want him. They'd want him off their bench to be that kind of guy. He's still a very tradable contract. But I think at the end of the day, I don't think the Knicks are probably making another move before training camp starts. And I think Quickly is back and they lock him up to a 4-year extension. I think Quickly gets extended, Hart gets extended. And those deals will still be very team friendly deals that you could trade. So yeah, I love Quickly. I think he's a hard player, good two-way player. And I'd be stunned if he isn't back. The only way I think Quickly's not back is if some star becomes available that fits for the Knicks that they can go get, like a Joel Embiid. But I'm not saying that's going to happen. But Joel Embiid comes and Philly comes knocking, then I see Quickly out there. But I see him back with the Knicks.
I won't talk about Joel later here
Okay.
because I want a better opinion about, with you about the rumors in the off seasons.
Lots of
Oh
rumors.
my
Yeah.
god! Oh my god! Every year,
Oh yeah.
so many. Oh my god! But when I mentioned for you Emmanuel Kickley, it's complicated in next season. I will don't mention again Obi Toppin because
Mhm.
Obi Toppin go out from the Knicks to the Pacers. Uh, what do you think about because I saw in internet Obi and Tom Thibodeau.
Mhm.
You know, what do you think about this?
Um, I had, I had heard after it was after Game 4 against the Heat, and I think a couple places reported this, but I heard there was some locker room confrontation and there was some arguments. Obviously, it came out that it was Obi mad about playing time, which I didn't think was a big deal. Players get mad about playing time. It happens on teams. And from what I had heard about that blow up, it didn't affect anybody in the locker room or anything personally. Obi likes the guys in the Knicks locker room. Obi wanted more playing time. It's unfortunate. The Knicks drafted Obi Toppin. From all I heard, they were looking to trade Randall and build, with Obi. But then Randall had the great season 2 years ago. He had another All-Star season. And, it happens, man. Like, Obi wasn't going to get to play here with Randall being in front of him. It just wasn't going to happen.
Yes.
So I think the Knicks got the best they could out of it at the time. They weren't going to get a first round pick because everybody knows they don't play them. They got 2 seconds. It is what it is. I'm not worried about them not having a backup power forward. I think you'll see Josh Hart a lot there, some RJ Barrett at times. I'm really not that worried about it. It's fine. I think it was time to move on. The Knicks tried to get him in a place where he could play. I think it'll be the best for Obi. I don't think it's an indictment on the Knicks that they drafted him at 8 and it didn't pan out. It's just they drafted him at 8, and then Randall had the 2 of the best 3 years of his career.
Yes.
He's an all-star forward in front of him. It happens. It's not the end of the world. You're not going to hit on every draft pick because hitting on draft picks sometimes are about situations. I think Obi can still be a very good player in this league. The opportunity just wasn't going to come for him here. It sucks. I liked him as a player. I loved his dunks and how he's able to stretch the floor, but it is what it is. I don't think the Knicks were wrong for trading him
Yes.
at all whatsoever. You kind of look at it like they swapped Obi Toppin for DiVincenzo and 2 second-round picks. That's kind of what they did this summer, and it's fine. It's okay. It's fine. We miss Obi Toppin. The Obi Hive was out there. Salute to Obi Toppin, but I think the Knicks made the right move for the team and just moving on and getting him some playing time.
I believe for Obi, it's very important. I am happy for him because Randall Shadow for the eternity, it's complicated. It's complicated. And I totally understand Obi Toppin in this point. But 2 second-round picks, Dexter, for Obi Toppin. I forgot your word now, but I believe it's I want more with Obi Toppin. More than 2 second-round picks. Just it.
Yeah, it was going to be tough because, you got to look at what the Pacers just got for Chris Duarte. They got 2 second-round picks. The problem, I think, was the Knicks were probably trying to get Obi Toppin somewhere, and teams would call them, and, they're like, look, we love Obi Toppin. We want to try to get a late first-round pick. I think they were trying to get a late first-round pick. I forgot who had reported that. I can't remember if it was Stephen Bondi or Fred Katz. They were trying to get a late first-round pick, and what I assume, I don't know this, but what I assumed happened is, the Knicks are like, look, we love this guy. He's great upside for you. They were like, well, if you love him, why don't you play him? And I think the fact he didn't play enough, only just under 15 minutes a game last year, that brings his value down. So his value, while people could see the skills on the court, he played well at the end of the season before. He played well when he had an opportunity at the end of this past season in the last 5 games when Randall was out. But teams are like, why don't you play this guy? If you love him so much, why would we give you first for a guy you barely play? So I don't think the Knicks could have done better than 2 second-round picks. I honestly think they did the best that they could, to be honest with you.
But good luck for Obi Toppin, bro. I like so much this guy, really. And Jacob Toppin, it's from Winchester Knicks, in your opinion, J League?
Yeah, they signed him to a Exhibit 10 contract, so I would be shocked if he doesn't. He's going to spend pretty much most of the year with the Westchester Knicks. I see my news makes a good point. He says Obi is 27. He's not a kid. Yeah,
yes.
He's not.
Yes.
Yes. And they got him some opportunity to play. He's an old, he's drafted, came in at 23, 24. So yeah, his brother, I don't think you see his brother. Maybe you see him in the preseason. I don't think you see him. He's a long-term project. So yeah, I think most of his time is with the Westchester G League team. I think so.
Wilson Ora make it for our channel a video clip. Do you remember? Video clip Knicks Fans Brazil channel. So many Brazilians, né?
I saw that.
This guy Wilson. With guitar.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Wilson. Shout out to Wilson. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, I saw that. Shout out to Wilson.
Nicão, it's a expression, né? Superlative from Knicks, né? In Brazil, in
Ah,
Portuguese. In
ah,
Portuguese.
gotcha. In Portuguese, gotcha. Nice.
And I know, né? Obi Top, Emmanuel Kickley, but I
Mm-hmm.
talked with you in the last off season about your and my expectation with Isaiah Hartenstein.
Yeah,
What's your opinion about Isaiah Hartenstein in the last season, and your expectations, for the next
yeah,
season?
yeah, yeah. You know, it's funny. I remember the last time we spoke. I love
Mm-hmm.
the Hartenstein. I like that signing, and
Yeah, I remember.
but when the season started,
Uh,
I did not like how he was playing at first, and yeah, and then we found out that he had a stress fracture. It was
uh-huh.
after January. He played really well. There were some games in the Heat series he disappeared against Bam Adebayo, but Isaiah Hartenstein, really good backup five. I think he plays really well. I like that they were able to play him in certain lineups down the stretch, especially because you're concerned about the fact that Mitchell Robinson can't hit free throws. But I like Hartenstein. I was down on him at the beginning of the season, but and then I found out he was dealing with a stress fracture in his foot. And once he was healthy, he started playing better. He's a good backup five. I would like to see him stretch the floor a little bit more and try to shoot some threes at times.
Yes.
But he that would help the Knicks. But I think he's a really good backup five. He'll be playing for a contract because he's in the last year of his deal. So I I think this year he could be more solid in backing up. You know,
Uh,
even when Mitchell Robinson was out for that stress, I think the 14 games Mitchell Robinson missed. You know, he was very solid for the Knicks. So yeah, I like the Knicks centers with him, Mitchell Robinson, Jericho Sims. I like the Knicks centers. Yeah.
no, but in your opinion, Obi Toppin, play like power four, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Go Obi Toppin, go out to the Knicks. Do you think now Isaiah Hartenstein playing in power four and Jericho Sims now a backup from Mitchell Robinson, or
Yeah.
you believe Knicks will get it, a new power four from this team?
I think it's more likely you see what you just said. I think Tibbs will mix and match. I think you'll see him sometimes go with some twin tower lineups with Hartenstein and Sims. We saw that last year at when Mitchell Robinson was out. There were times he played them both on the floor. I think you'll also see, like I mentioned earlier, some Josh Hart at the backup four, some
Mm-hmm.
RJ Barrett playing some backup four. Those guys have
Mm-hmm. In
enough size.
Brazil,
Yeah,
sorry, cut you. In
huh?
Brazil, so many guys mention RJ Barrett playing power forward. You mention now. I
Yeah,
remember, bro.
yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think you could see that. I think Tibbs will be flexible depending on who they're playing. Sometimes you'll see a lot of
Mm.
size with Sims and Hartenstein. Sometimes I think you'll get Josh Hart, who can rebound very well. RJ Barrett there. He's got enough size, not the strength, but the size. Yeah, I think you could see that. I think those scenarios are more likely than the Knicks signing another backup power forward.
Oh, I will send em português. Olá, Alex. Boa noite para você, meu amigo. Good night for you, my friend. In English for Dexter, Henry, understand our
I
words
under,
in this life.
I understand. And good night, Alex. Good night. Good night.
Uh,
Now I learned something too.
yes.
Opa boy neat. So opa boy noit. Is that how I say it? Ah, good. I did it. Good.
I
I
will.
gotta get
I
my Portuguese
will.
up.
I will learn
You'll
so
learn. I
many.
like learning. I like it.
We talk about Isaiah Hartenstein in the last season. I like so much Isaiah Hartenstein play with Josh Hart. I saw in social media,
Yeah.
Twitter, Instagram, people, né? Como é que é? Hearts, né? This
Yeah.
guy
Hearts.
Hearts.
I've seen that. I like that. I like that. I like that for the duo. I like that. Hart and Hartenstein. The Hearts. I like it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And What I want your opinion about this player. This player, your girlfriend, is a Brazilian, né?
Mm,
Dil Smiles McBride, né? Has a Brazilian girlfriend, né?
mhm.
Ana Zorteia. What's your opinion about Dil Smiles McBride in this team?
Listen, one thing we saw last year, especially when Tibbs switched the rotation, is that Miles McBride stayed ready. He could come in, he'll play some defense, he could hit some threes. I know the Knicks are high on McBride. I think the next thing for him in his game is to elevate his game is he's got to be able to hit the jump shot
Mm-hmm.
consistently. We saw some games where he was able to knock down some threes. As he does that, I think it'll open up his game. He's a fantastic on the ball defender. The only thing I think holding him back from getting more playing time with different people is really the shot. I think as he develops his shot, but he's a good point guard. He plays good defense. You even saw Tibbs trusted him to give him minutes at certain points in the playoffs, which I thought was really good for him. So I don't know how much his role expands, especially because the Knicks have so many guards. But yeah, we'll see. But I like Miles McBride and Manu. Thank you for the kind words, man. I'm always happy to talk to Victor and the Knicks fans in Brazil. So thank you guys for the love. I appreciate that. Yeah.
McBride, I like more your
Mhm.
defense, né? More offense.
I
Your
like.
defense, ó,
Mm. His
so
defense is
good,
so
né?
good. He's so good on the ball. He's a good defender. The offense could get better, but that's why
Yes.
Tibbs trusts him. Tibbs is
Mm-hmm.
not giving a guy spot minutes, a couple minutes here and there in the playoffs if he doesn't trust you defensively. And he trusts him defensively. He plays hard. He's made big plays, big steals. Um, it's going to be tough to play when you got Brunson as your starting point guard and quickly there behind you. But I think you'll see minutes from him in spot. He'll help the team out during the season. I'm confident of that. Confident.
And I mentioned now McBride uh, in the last season, begin, né? The last season,
Mm-hmm.
people talking about McBride in this team and Derrick Rose out this rotation, like Evan Fournier.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you saw, né, in the last weeks, né, Evan Fournier talking so much about, né, this opinion, né, from Fournier with the tips, with this your situation, né? What's your opinion about Evan Fournier and Derrick Rose in this team last season? And Evan Fournier, so complicated, bro, to negotiate this guy your contract, né? What's your opinion about this?
I thought it was the right move by Thibodeau at the time when he took Evan Fournier out the rotation. I was a little more shocked about Derrick Rose when that happened. Look, Fournier is still an NBA player. He can shoot the ball well. He's a liability on defense. I think it was right for the Knicks to go a little younger with Grimes, who's just a better player right now. Fournier, you saw his comments. He's frustrated. He obviously wants to be traded. He wants to play. But the Knicks also, they're not going to be in a rush to do that, I think, because they know that he's a very big bargaining chip for them. If they're going to trade for stars, $18.9 million in expiring contract, that's definitely helpful in the trade. Teams will want that. So, you could see Evan Fournier in a smaller deal or something else. I think the Knicks are going to try to
Mm-hmm.
hold him. I think they're going to try to hold him, make him come to training camp and see what he'll do by the deadline. Or they'll let him sit at home. It wouldn't shock me if the Knicks do that. Look, we're paying you anyway. Sit at home. You can work out at the facility. And then we'll see if we can try to find you a home. But things happen like that. I think Tibbs made the right decision. I don't think Fournier
Mm-hmm.
has any bad blood or is really upset at anybody except for Tibbs. He probably didn't like how it was handled, but this is professional sports. Sometimes, like, the coach is not going to use you. I don't think it's personal. I just think he went with the guys that better were going to help him win. And the Knicks made the playoffs. They won 47 games. I think Tom Thibodeau was
Yes.
proven right. I think so.
but you mentioned not personal, uh, but I saw today in websites when asked for Evan Fournier
Mhm.
about Tom Thibodeau. I Evan Fournier talks so many words about
Yeah.
tips. For me, it's personal, bro.
Yeah, part of that too, though, Victor, is like at this time of year, you look at what's happening, you're like, this is Evan Fournier trying to use whatever leverage he can to get off the team. And I think what he's trying to create is he doesn't want to come back to the team at training
Mhm.
camp knowing that him and Thibodeau, I don't know if there's bad blood. I don't want to say that, but Thibodeau, he said they don't really have a relationship. Um,
Yes,
he's mad
yes.
he's out the rotation. Look, this stuff is tough in sports. I hope Thibodeau was able to talk to him or has talked to him this offseason and say, hey, this is what the plan is going forward. We're going to try to get you a new home. We'll see. But Evan Fournier right now is trying to use whatever leverage he can to get traded. So he's trying to talk through the media and let them know he's not happy. And we'll see if the Knicks do something.
And I saw them too. So enter now in rumors. Okay, for example, today I saw the Knicks are not interested in trading for Carl Anthony Towns, per Fred Katz. Knicks have
Mm-hmm.
because your uh, what's your opinion about Carl Anthony Towns? Because every off season, Nick fans talking about Carl Anthony Towns and the Knicks are not like Dame, but Dame now because we have Jalen Brunson, okay?
Right.
But you remember every off season, talking about this. What do you think in these rumors? For example, Towns, Zach Lavine, Embiid, and the Knicks rumors. What do your thoughts about the situations?
I think the reporting you saw from Fred Katz in saying that the Knicks are not interested in Carlton Towns makes a lot of sense to me. I've heard some similar things. It doesn't make sense for the Knicks. Carlton Towns to me is not the star you want to pair with Jalen Brunson.
Mm-hmm.
I think Carlton Towns is talented shooting big man, but defensively he's a liability. He's shown to disappear in the playoffs. Um, no, so I would say no to that. Levine, very one-dimensional player. No. Now, Embiid, like I said earlier, Embiid sounds great. I think he's the kind of guy you would want to pair with Brunson. But I don't. The Sixers are not going to rush this process. No pun intended. They're not going to rush this process. They're going to wait to see what happens with Harden, how that goes all down, and then they'll make a move. But the Knicks, the Sixers, I think, are going to try to do everything to keep Joel Embiid there until he says he wants out. I'm not believing it. So there's a lot of Damian Lillard. You mentioned too. No, like you said, the Knicks already have Brunson. They're not going to do a small backcourt. We saw how that worked out in Portland. So the Knicks, fans are always going to bring up somebody. I'm not sure the star is out there right now for the Knicks, and that's fine. It might take another season or two. It's fine, but the star will come for the Knicks. I just think they have to make sure they get the right one. And I think the front office is being patient, not jumping the gun, and trying to get the right star for them. I really believe that.
And it's complicated, because Philadelphia 76ers, the cost from get it Joel Embiid so high,
Mm-hmm.
so high. And I believe, in my opinion, okay, my opinion, the Knicks will don't make no one moves, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But Evan Fournier, it's the one, I believe, the only, I believe the Knicks can, be a trade, a move
Yeah,
this guy from this
yeah.
team. But
I
the
think you can
rest,
see. Yeah, I think you can see him packaged with something else. And I I think fans should know that it. When you're building a team, there isn't like this one move or one trade that just put. It never
mm-hmm,
happens that puts you over the top to a championship. Building a team and a championship team is a process, and it takes time and
yes,
it's adding little pieces. So you might think not you, but some people may think Dante DiVincenzo is not a big enough piece. It's just one of the part of the pieces. And I do think the way the
Mm-hmm.
Knicks roster is set up, it's prime for them to make a trade. I don't know who that is or how it impacts, but they've got a lot of tradable contracts, a lot of young players, a lot of assets. We'll see who the trade is. But the Knicks have been patient and smart. So I actually can say this for the first time in a long time. It seems like this organization has a plan. They understand what they're doing. They are trying to get good value contracts and have assets. So I think a trade is coming. I do think a trade is coming
Mm-hmm.
at some point this year, whether it's before or after. I think most likely closer to the trade deadline. But watch it. The Knicks have made some smart and competent moves. I think it's good. I think it's good for the team.
No, I totally understand you now. I want now your opinion and your
Mhm.
expectations né, with this team now. What's your expectations with the New York Knicks in the next season with these guys? Né?
Yeah, I think the continuity matters, Victor, and I think my expectations for this season is slight improvement. I think the Knicks have a shot to win 50 games. Um, I think they can, depending on the matchup, I think they can get past the second round. I don't see them right now as better than Boston, although I think Boston has a lot of question marks. I'm not going to put them over Milwaukee, and I might add Miami to that until they beat them. The East is going to be tough. It's top heavy. But I think the Knicks could
Mhm.
be I think the Knicks could be a 50-win team. I think Toronto's taking a step back in the division. I think the Nets also take a step back. Um, but I think the Knicks could win 50 games, and I don't think that's crazy. And I think that this group staying together, building off of what they did last year, could bode well for them. And if they get into a second round and they have a favorable matchup, could this team get to the Eastern Conference Finals? Sure, I could see it if things break the right way. But right now, to me, it's about the development of certain players. Who takes another leap, and do they continue to play the hard nosed basketball and also defensive minded set, that they've had for the last couple of years. If they continue that, I think the Knicks are in a good place.
And do you believe in the not now, but in the next off season, Knicks has a chance, a bring. For example, I remember when I talk with Mark Berman.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Berman mentioned for me Devin Booker, for example. Do you believe in the next off season? Because in the next off season, Devin Booker, Knicks will be a chance, nah, with this guy. Do you believe Devin Booker has a chance, or not?
I think
Because
a
I
lot.
believe, bro.
I think a lot of it depends on what happens with Phoenix this season,
Yes,
and the way
yes,
they're
you're
stacked.
right.
Had they not traded for Bradley Beal, I might be inclined to say yes. I think the Knicks always have a chance because Leon Rose, the CAA connection. I know that's what
Yes.
my former colleague Mark Berman is alluding to. So there's always a chance if Booker wants to play here. He's the kind of guy I would love to see next to Brunson as well. Put him in the backcourt, and I think he's good. We've seen with Devin Booker, everybody thinks he's just a shooter or a scorer, but we saw the playmaking last year in the playoffs. He's playing point guard. Yeah, I would love Devin Booker next to Jalen Brunson. But do the Knicks have a chance? Yes, because of the relationship. But we got a long way to go before we get there. A lot of basketball, a lot of to go before we get there. So yeah.
Bro, I love this interview. I miss you, bro, in this channel.
Ah, man.
Really.
Victor, whenever you hit me up, I always come on, and thanks for having me, man. I love talking some Knicks with you. So hopefully I think the Knicks will have a good season. We'll do it again before the season. We have a long way to go before the season, but yeah, we'll do it again soon.
I need nah, make a trip to New York, bro.
Yes.
I really need. This year it's complicated, because my new home, so many costs, so many costs, so
Expensive.
expensive,
I
so
gotta
complicated, bro. But
I gotta get to Gotta get to see you guys too. I gotta come down to Brazil. That has to happen. So we gotta make that happen. So yeah, it's funny. I was so close to South America about a month ago because my family is from the beautiful island of Grenada, and that's very close to
Oh,
South, very close to South America. So I gotta get to South America. I've never been to South America. I gotta get to Brazil, check out some other places. My great grandmother is from Venezuela, so
huh?
I gotta go visit that. My great grandmother, excuse me, is from Venezuela. So yeah, I gotta get visit Brazil, man. When you come to New York, just let me know, man. You gotta come to a game. We gotta get you to a game. Got to.
I will make a super advertising
There we
when
go.
I,
There we
I
go.
I work I work with
That's what you do.
advertising,
Yeah,
bro.
that's right. That's right. No, we'll make
So
we'll
I
make it
will
happen.
so many advertisings. Victor in New York City, bro.
Victor in New York. There we go. I like it. I like it,
But
man.
in Brazil, come to São Paulo,
San
okay,
Paulo. Yep.
to see me,
See you.
okay. But go to Rio de Janeiro,
Go to Rio.
Curitiba. It's a
Hmm.
beautiful
Yeah.
city.
But I
Curitiba.
gotta come. I gotta come to Sao Paulo. I have to come to Sao Paulo. I have to.
Yes, yes.
That
São Paulo, it's like New York City, né? So many people in this
people.
town.
Yeah,
Uh,
I love it, and I
you
know the
know,
food. I know the food is gonna be good, so I'm there. That's all I need. Good people, good food.
oh, I will help with
There
you
you go.
with food in Brazil, nah.
There we go.
You
I
got
know
it,
it'll
you got
work. There you go. Got you.
it.
No problem, brother.
Bro, thank you so much, bro. Thanks so much, né? Thanks so much, né, for audience from USA, for example, Karen Grant. Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Karen Grant from New York, and so many
Corinne, what's up?
guys from Brazil. For example, Lawrence, Manu, né? So many comments in this live. Vitor, né? Like me, né? Victor, but Vitor, né?
Vitor.
Alex, and so many guys, né? In this live aí. The first Vol live, né?
That's
Alone in the dark.
in the dark.
Alone in the dark.
I love that I was part of your first live, man. It's a good job. And shout out to your fans and everybody watching. I say this all the time. I love all, somebody who grew up a Knicks fan and works in media. I love seeing all the Knicks communities and fan sites. I love it. It's so many people I talk to from across the world, Brazil, Daniel Jean from Germany, who's a great,
Yes.
yeah, Knicks fan from Germany, who was in New York this year. So many great Knicks fans across the world, and it's beautiful when sports and basketball brings us together, man. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. So that's thank you for having me again, Victor. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, brother.
Ah. Soon, I hope, né? Having you again in Nick
Oh
Fans
yeah,
Brazil, bro.
oh yeah. We'll do it again. I got you. We'll do it again.
Okay, my bro. Let's see you and bye bye.
Bye bye. Peace, everybody.